Hi, hello, how are you? You're listening to I've Always Said That with your host Brad, and this is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 9. Now, we've just come off the bat of two major episodes, truly. Like, the Below Deck Real Housewives of Salt Lake City crossover should be studied in schools. I'm serious. And this episode as well, even though we've got the end of the Below Deck trip, plus the repercussions of the trip, I want to say. There's so much build-up. But even in this build-up episode, there's so much content and juiciness that I just can't wait to sink my teeth into. So I'm like, oh, let's just get into it. So they're still on the boat after their spooky dinner where once again, Britani and Meredith get into it. Britani brings up Seth's possible indiscretions. Source, TikTok, crazy. Okay, sure. They have morning yoga with Captain Jason. A lovely way to cool down, recollect, and center oneself. But the first thing I notice is Britani's the only one without a mat. She doesn't get to be a housewife. She doesn't get a yoga mat. These are just the rules in life. You can't argue with that. But Captain Jason, being the king that he is, does give Britani his yoga mat. And I'm like, oh, sweet. She's going to want to marry you now. But anyway, Meredith's talking to Lisa about Britani while they're doing the yoga. Meredith and Lisa are just in their room still. And Meredith is like, she has the brain aptitude of one. She's like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. And I'm like, that's such a read. It's so good. It's such a crazy read. And I'm like, Meredith, I love you. Anyway, Bronwyn knocks on Meredith's door with Britani's unicorn. And I'm like, oh, I've seen the previews. I know where this is going. And Meredith's like, why have you brought this to me? And she's like, I think Uni wants to go for a swim. And Meredith's face lights up. Also, Meredith's mannerisms are just so beautiful and crazy. Like, she's standing there in a bikini and she's got her arms out. She's like, I don't know. Britani has the brain aptitude of one. I'm simply not going to go there. I'm disengaging. She's iconic. We're finally getting some Meredith content this season. And I'm like, this is what I've been asking for. So they get dressed up to throw Uni into the ocean in disguises because they need disguises to get around the boat for some reason. And what does Bronwyn pull out? Some more inflatable outfits. She's getting her money's worth for these. I'll tell you right now. So God bless her for that. They walk to the edge of the boat and they throw Uni into the ocean where it fucking belongs, let's be honest. And I'm like, good riddance, that thing is out of here. Bye-bye. Bye, Uni. Lovely, iconic. Breakfast. Meredith actually has more issue with Whitney today because she didn't shut Britani down when Britani brought it up to Whitney first. And meanwhile, Britani is behind her like, trying to talk to her, and Meredith's like, I'm not even talking to you. Like, you're done. You're dead to me, basically. And I'm like, fair enough. And Whitney clears her name pretty well. She's like, I gave Britani options to either immediately bring it to you, to not bring it up at all, or I was going to tell you. And I'm like, valid. That's like pretty good response. I think that's a fairly mature thing to do. And I'm like, Meredith can't really have an issue with that. So pipe down, babes. Meanwhile, Britani says she wanted to say it with kindness. Ha! What? You want to say that her husband's cheating on her with kindness? I don't think that can come out kind, babe. As much as you try and spin it, it's not going to come from a place of kindness when it's accusatory like that. Okay? Okay. Meredith says she'll be done with anyone who supports Britani. But then it's like, Heather brings it up. It's ironic because then she's supporting Lisa. So it's just like the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I mean? Bronwyn asks Mary, as a woman of God, to say something. And she just shakes her head. She's like, no. And I'm like, enough said, Mary. Thank you, icon. Thank you for being in this show. We love you. We appreciate you. And we praise you. Yes. They're disembarking and leaving. And as they're about to walk away, one of the fucking crew comes running out with the fucking unicorn. And I'm like, oh. Britani's like, why is it wet? Why is it wet? Because she was looking before it as they were packing and she couldn't find it. It was in the ocean. She's like, did somebody throw this overboard? did somebody throw this overboard? And Bronwyn was like, it was supposed to be a joke. Like, clearly it's not a joke. I think throwing something overboard it's a bit further than a joke if it's something like that. Like, it's fucking, what's his name? Jason, Jordan, Brett. I can't even remember his name, but like, fucking, you know what I mean. You did what you did, and you said it with intention. Okay, so this is where the drama starts. The airport home. Cameras aren't there. We only get recounts of what's happened. Meredith apparently has just relived what Britani said. And she was making a scene on the flight. It's all told through confessionals and like dramatic montage because the cameras weren't there. And it's just so insane. Everyone's like, she was screaming at Britani. It was just like her and Lisa was egging her on, and Britani sitting there crying in first class. The whole of first class is looking at them, and Heather's trying to calm her down, and then Lisa starts yelling at Heather or something, and I'm like, oh my God, why? I find it so hard to believe that there's housewives on a plane and not one bit of footage was recorded. So I'm like, I need to see what's going on. And Meredith in confessionals is like, if I was that dramatic, the air marshals would have arrested me. And I'm okay. Mary and Bronwyn catch up. And Mary fills Bronwyn in on what she's missed. Because since Bronwyn didn't fly with them, she had to change all of her flights. So Bronwyn got to miss out. She flew home on her own, which I'm like, I think you missed the bullet there, babe. I think you've done a really good job there. Mary kind of says she doesn't like Britani, but that was too far. I'm like, for Mary to say that, like, look, we all pile on Britani. Britani is kind of like an easy target of the housewives. And I'm like, and we love to hate her. And for Mary to say that it has gone too far, I'm like, fuck, what happened? And you can see when Meredith goes off, she fucking goes for the jugular. She's like, I'm here and I will destroy you any way that I possibly can. And Britani, she's a fragile little darling. She really is. So I don't think it would take much. And for Meredith to be on the warpath to her, it doesn't spell for a good recipe. Lisa's talking to John, catching her up, saying Meredith lost her mind calmly while eating... Sorry, I've just read my notes wrong. She's like, yeah, Meredith lost her mind, and she's just sitting in the car, like, eating her chicken nuggets. Like, bullshit. I'm sure she was fueling it for sure, like, without a doubt. Heather then meets up with Britani, and Britani looks disheveled. Like, it's sad. Like, oh, my poor darling. She says she hasn't slept or eaten in days, and I'm like, dramatic, but also, it's like, Britani. Also, oh, look, we don't know for sure what's happened on the plane. Britani, I think you do need to grow a slight backbone if you're saying you haven't slept or eaten. But then I also do understand the mental anguish one might go through if you're being basically verbally abused on I don't know how many hours, like hours and hours and hours on a flight home. Like, that's a lot. So I just need the facts of what happened. She's like, there was hair pulling and seat shaking and I'm like, such a major reaction for Britani talking about a TikTok. Like, Britani of all people. Once again, I'm like defending her but shitting on her. Why would you take anything that Britani says seriously? I think it's hit a sore spot for Meredith. I mean, her family is historically a sore spot for her. Like, you do not talk about her family without her going off. So I don't know, is there some truth to it? Like, has something actually happened with Seth? Have we seen Seth this season? If we have, it's been very, very short. So maybe maybe they're just kind of like growing apart a bit and she kind of got a bit self-conscious about it. I'm curious to see. I will say, as a friend of this season, Britani has a huge role in this storyline of this season. Like, she's been at the forefront of most, if not all things. So it'd be I don't know if they're going to give her the snowflake next season. I don't know if they'll even go there, but I reckon Meredith would have a huge problem if she did. And it's like, are one of the OGs going to leave? If they were going to get rid of one of the OGs, I think it would either be Whitney or Meredith. I don't want them to get rid of any of them. I think it's such a great cast. I think that's the direction they would go in though. But I think if Meredith left, I think Lisa if she did another season without Meredith, then that would be her last season. She wouldn't have anyone in a corner. So she's like, why would I come back? And they want Lisa to stay. So maybe Whitney. But anyway, I don't know. Bronwyn meets up with Whitney. And before I can even see it's Bronwyn, I see like it's doing like the pan from the shoes to the top of her. It's just this intergalactic fit. And I'm like, oh, it's Bronwyn. What's Bronwyn up to, you know? She's wearing something of this nature, so it must be Bronwyn, and it is. Whitney tells the story of the flight because, once again, Bronwyn wasn't there, and she wanted to know what she had heard from Mary. Bronwyn questions as well why there is no footage. Like, that's insane. And Bronwyn brings up Meredith and Todd both need flight etiquette. And I'm like, Todd, why are we bringing up Todd? Sure, I love a bit of Todd drama. I don't know what it is. Like, I hate this old man, but when like shit happens with him, I'm like, this is great because he's just such a fuckwit sometimes. I'm like, I'm getting giddy. So, Todd has been caught in a flight looking at images of women on his phone. And he tries to blame the women, but saying that like, oh, of course, someone from your group has like planted this and tried to like get bad things about me out there. And Bronwyn doesn't believe him. He's like, no, because this has happened before. I'm like, oh. And if they had talked about it beforehand, about an open marriage, she would be open to it. And I'm like, oh, okay. First of all, she's talking to the right person, Whitney. And then Whitney goes on and talks about her situations with Justin. They're not in an open marriage, but they are very open with how they communicate and such like that. But Bronwyn's like, if we wanted to do an open marriage, I would be about that, but we'd have to put in the establishment of rules and boundaries and make sure that communication is the top priority. And I'm like, this is such a mature response from Bronwyn. Fuck, she's really growing on me. I'm really growing to like Bronwyn a lot. But of course, these rules and boundaries weren't in place, so it makes it a bit of a major issue. And also, Todd being an old white man, I don't think he would be into an open relationship whatsoever because I'm sorry, but who's going to want to go for him? You know what I mean? Just saying, from an outside's perspective, generational thing and all that shit, sure. Then we get some Angie time. We love Angie. She's with her daughter, Electra. They have kind of like a back and forth thing because her daughter's packing for like a horse thing. What does she do on a horse? She like dressage? Is that the thing? Or is she jumping, show jumping? I don't actually know what she does. Also, Angie's red confessional look in this scene. Oh, delectable. She looks so beautiful. You know, I feel like we don't really usually see her in like an intense of a color, but God, it suits her with all the jewels and everything. Anyway, she brings up like possibly representing Greece because she's obviously Greek. And Electra's like, nah, I don't see why I would. I was born here. Like, I identify more with dad's side of the family. Like, Angie's kind of devastated, which I so get. Like, it's nice to see this, like, obviously you get all the drama, like this episode, but then having something like this kind of levels it out a bit, you know? You get a little bit of this, a palate cleanser, one might say. I think what makes a good episode is just a little palate cleanser like this. And I think it's also setting up the Greek trip, which I think they do at some point in this season. So, you know what? Context clues. We love it. We love them over there at Bravo. Now, Heather meets up with Lisa, but she's like waiting for like over an hour. There's like a montage of her waiting. And I'm like, babe, you're keeping me waiting more than 20 minutes with no message. I'm out. I'm not staying there waiting for you. Lisa finally arrives, no apology. And I'm like, okay, sure. Also, Lisa looks fucking crazy. I'm like, what is happening right now? But I'm kind of used to Lisa looking crazy this season. There's just immediately back and forth arguing like these two usually do. It's like, like Heather trying to defend Britani and be like, what you guys did to Britani was insane. And Lisa said someone should have stepped in, but which I kind of agree with. If like they were being crazy, then someone should have stepped in. And Heather's like, I did. I was there. Like, and you yelled at me. And she's like, no, we did not. No, we did not. And Lisa's like, I was preserving my peace by not comforting Britani and just like kind of staying out of it. I'm like, Lisa, what the hell? I don't know if you even know the definition of preserving peace. Are you for serious? So much she has said, but I don't believe a word that comes out of Lisa's mouth. Not a single word. it gets to the point where they're just like swearing at each other and the whole conversation's just beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, okay, I'm over this. Nothing's getting sorted, so whatever. Now, we finally see Meredith, the piece de resistance, the center of all of this. Meredith, and she's catching up with Mary. And like they've had a strong connection in the past. So I'm like, I wonder how this is going to go, because we know that Mary is on the side of it was too much, even for Britani. So curious to see how she handles this. Mary's like, Meredith, I've seen you being angry, but this is different. And Meredith's like, is that what you think happened? The gaslighting. She's just pulling from Lisa's book. I mean, they're basically one and the same. They're merging into one person. Meredith's like delirious about how long it went for. She's like, it went on for 10, maybe 15 minutes. I was venting to a friend, and if Britani heard, she happened to overhear. And Mary's like, are you for real? I heard you. And Meredith's like, you could not hear me. You were on the other side of the plane. Then we get my favorite part of the episode. We get a plane seating chart. I'm like, this is everything. Like, if they couldn't get the receipts of footage, this is the closest thing to a receipt we're going to get. So, Britani is sat in front of Lisa and Meredith in first class. So, it's only 2 seats aisle, 2 seats. Lisa and Meredith, Britani in front of her. Then on the other side, it's Mary and Whitney sat in front of Heather. So, they're all fairly close. You say on the other side of the plane. It's not that far away, babes. Like, it's pretty close. And then Angie sat a little further up, so maybe she didn't really hear as much as everyone else. Everyone is pretty close together. Meredith sticks with the story that she was just venting to a friend, and it's a shame that she heard, which is a far cry from everyone else's recount. Like, they get back and everyone's in the confessionals like, it went down, shit went down, and Meredith was out for blood. And I'm like, and Meredith's like, I just venting to a friend. So I'm like, what? I don't believe Meredith. I really was a stan of her, but I'm kind of like off her because she's seeming like more and more like Lisa every day. And online there's all these things about like there would have had to be footage. You see these people, obviously housewives arguing, someone would have filmed something. And if Bravo has it, they would have put it on the show. So I'm like, they're either saving it for next episode or they just genuinely don't have the footage of what happened. So we're only going to get he said, she said. But if the he said, she said is Lisa and Meredith versus everybody else, I'm going to go with everybody else. Like, come on now. You see how Meredith goes crazy sometimes. So in the preview for next episode, we get that they've all meeting up in a lunch or something organized by Mary. So I'm like, this is all set up. This is all like recounts of what happened. This is the setup episode. And it was still so entertaining. So I can't wait to see the fallout of them just probably annihilating each other. And I'm like, what more could we ask for? This season of Salt Lake City has just been so phenomenal, so top tier. Like, I don't understand. If you're not watching it, you're so truly missing out on a piece of reality TV history. Truly. I absolutely am obsessed with these women. Yes, they fight. Yes, they argue. Yes, they annoy me. But the entertainment that they provide, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I would give this a score of, I'm going to say 73. Like, yes, it is a great episode, but it was just a lot of recount. So I'm going to do, in like the mid to lower 70s range. Still very great episode, but I have a feeling it's just set up for the next episode, which I'm not mad about. Like, you got to lay down the road work for the car to drive. You know what I mean? What the fuck does that mean? Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at I've Always Said That pod. Remember to leave us a review and follow along. It really helps us here at the channel. This has been Brad Buckland for I've Always Said That for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Thank you. You're welcome. Love you. Bye.